keeping the car out the wall. These cars are very tricky to drive. Mistakes are very easy to come by.
It's been a lot of big learning process. There's about a 70-page manual that I have to, memorize. It's been hard. It's been a very busy couple of months since we finished racing in Korea in August.
The challenge is probably as unique as it gets, and the Gen 3 car has just added a lot more spice to it.
Obviously, when technology is moving along and things are changing, it's important to try and find that reliability first and then push on with the performance.
Well, understanding the package we have underneath us, obviously there's a lot of new technology in the cars this year. I'm sure over these 3 days in Valencia we'll learn a lot.
I think at the beginning we will struggle a bit, especially with the issues we are having at the moment. But I think halfway the season we will be more sorted and hopefully we can score some good points.
I think there's many challenges, yeah. I think for driving it will just be, trying to put the lap together. With that extra power we've got this year, it's really difficult to try and bring the lap together as one.
I've got a new teammate. I would say Sergio's very well regarded, and quite rightly, to be honest, he is very, very fast.
Great challenge. The car looks very aggressive, very different to the past.
To keep the car on the racetrack, because the car is much harder to drive. On top of this, I would say that with the four-wheel regenerating during brake, you can be much more efficient as well.
As a customer team, we didn't get much mileage, and reliability is still a bit of a concern for everyone, I guess. And clearly the challenge will be to make sure we extract the most out of the car and we finish the first race.
To get the car actually going and then, to find the right setup. We haven't done a lot of testing so far. And during the race, I think the biggest issue will always be to put the power down, to get the traction out of the corners, to improve that. And the car which has probably the best traction will always be the most efficient, but also quickest.
We're not even experienced, the proper street tracks of Formula E yet, so it's going to be a real challenge for everyone.
We're in the beginning, we are still learning a lot from test to test. Hopefully we can find a lot of performance, especially in the beginning, and learn from race to race.
A lot of different aspects in terms of strategy, but also for us driving. So yeah, we will see a complete new dynamic.
We will have to fine-tune our softwares, our setup, and make sure that everything is working perfectly together.
I feel the car is really peaky, really pointy, very on the edge to drive, especially with this amount of power. And on the street circuits, trying to be precise will be quite tough for everyone.
I'm sure it's going to be competitive, as it always is here in Formula E, very unpredictable. I think that's all going to stay there.
We have 22 cars on the grid, probably 22 cars and drivers that can win a race. And I think you see that in the racing. It's very close, the cars can follow very close together.
You look up and down the paddock, there's no weak points, everybody is a world-class driver, so it remains one of, if not the most competitive form of motorsport on the planet.
The level gets higher and higher each year in Formula E, and to have, I think, 2 more rookies this year joining us, and just the level obviously at the top is extremely demanding on the team and the driver.
Very hard to comment on everyone, but obviously the cars being quite close to each other makes it extra difficult and extra competitive, and the teams, obviously, when you look at them, they are really strong.
Yeah, Formula E is a very competitive championship. It's been the most competitive championship I've entered in my whole career. A lot of really good drivers, very good teams, and everyone starts to understand really what Formula E is about.
After Formula 1, it's one of the highest level championship in the world.
The people here have a lot of experience. It's tough to beat them, but it is also, I guess, that when you manage to beat these guys, you actually also get more rewards, from that.
Formula E is the most competitive series in the planet, so every detail, every tenth of a second counts.
Yes, obviously with 22 drivers, I think most are capable of winning races and championships, and have done over the years. So I think it's a highly competitive championship.
It's daunting as well when you see the guys that you're going up against, but it's the way that sport should be. It should be up against the best, and we've definitely got that here in Formula E.
I do believe that everybody will be closer together, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe one team is really ahead.
Yeah, the Formula E grid this year is ultra competitive. We have lots of very high class manufacturers, drivers, but also teams.
Well, I think at the end we know Formula E is a very tight competition. It will as well in Gen 3.
I think it's going to be very competitive again, like always in Formula E. We see small gaps between teams and drivers.
The margin between the teams and the drivers is so small that every weekend you have to maximize everything. You have to nail everything in order to be able to challenge at the front. So
I've said this to a few people, like even friends. I genuinely think that consistently across the board of this grid, in terms of driver talent, I think it's consistently stronger than the F1 grid. I think this grid has literally the best drivers in the world.
There's a lot for fans to be excited about. Obviously, it's still ultra competitive, new tech, new potentially new regulations and sporting regs with pit stops again.
New tracks, a new car really.
When you see the cars on track, they will look faster, they behave much more agile, so the races are going to have much more dynamic.
The improvement of the cars, at some point we'll have the fast charging as well introduced in the championship.
I think it's always exciting when we get a big change of regulations.
I think it will be very exciting to see how the cars and the teams sort of race with the new package.
I think there will be more things going on during the weekend, during the races.
To race with the new cars, I think is the most exciting thing.
We've got a bit of a different race format, which I think, as well with the number of laps which is defined, makes it easier for everybody to understand how the race is going.
Hopefully some great racing on track again.
I think fans can expect more drama this year. I feel like the cars are just more difficult, so I think there's just going to be more exciting scenarios.
I think the cars are obviously kind of the standout feature of this season 9. I think they look fantastic out on track.
I think the cars in general this year are going to be very spectacular to watch.
I believe that the racing will also be more entertaining.
Yeah, they're going to get a new aspect of how quick the cars are and how technology is moving on, and then hopefully we can put on a good show for them as well.
More good racing, more fun, enjoyable races that capture the imagination of people all around the world.
Racing in a World Championship, yeah, getting into the big league, let's say.
I'm looking forward to do qualifying as well with the 350 kilowatt we're having nowadays.
I cannot wait for the first race of the season in Mexico. Mexico, they have the best fans.
Our ambitions are high, and yeah, I can't wait for my future together with the team.
Probably the qualifying with 250 kilowatts.
At the moment, we're so focused with our job, and we've got a pretty big job list that we have to, still figure out. So I haven't had the time to just sit back.
I think just getting back into a whole new seasons and obviously trying to get on top of this new beast.
The locations we raced at this year are really cool. We're obviously racing in Cape Town this year, one of my favourite locations.
For sure, I'm excited for the challenge. I think that's the biggest thing. Everybody's excited for something new.
We are going to new places, new tracks, very cool venues again. Just looking forward to be back in the car and race.
Well, there's so many things to be excited for when you're driving these cars.
I think we got some really cool new tracks this year.
I'm excited for the unknown, to be honest. Everything is new for everybody. We don't really know at this stage where all the teams are gonna rank.
I want to get back to winning races, so I didn't obviously manage to do that last year. So yeah, I want to get back to that. I enjoy that.
I'm very much looking forward for the new racetracks that we will have this year, for example, in fantastic countries where I will have the chance, let's say, to discover new cultures.
New cities, new tracks.
Qualifying, the cars being so fast and trying to extract everything I can.
We're going to India. It's a complete new destination also for international motorsport, so I hope we can make a big impact there.
Cape Town, one of my favorite cities.
We're obviously going to India, Brazil, so super cool locations, and yeah, just the new car is going to bring a whole new level of excitement.
I'd say Brazil is the closest ones to my home, so Brazil I know I'm going to have a big support of my friends coming over.
I think I would just announce Portland as well. I've always wanted to spend a bit more time in America.
I'm looking forward to Cape Town. I think Brazil and India as well are going to be great additions, as well as Oregon.
It's my home race in São Paulo. For me, it's going to be huge. I'm really looking forward. It has been 10 years that I've been working to have that race there.
Cape Town as well as Sao Paulo, I think those are the two races I probably look forward to the most. I think that's a very unique and special thing about Formula E, that we really travel to all these special places.
Cape Town. I've never been there. I only heard good things about Cape Town, and it should be beautiful there. It's not too far from Mauritius, where my mother is from, and I like the good weather.
Going to Portland, I think it will be something completely new for me. Never been in that part of the world, and discovering new cultures, new places, new tracks is also one of the small benefits that we get in Formula E.
I think all the new additional locations are really exciting for us, and the race in India is a big one.
South Africa one really jumps out. Never been to Portland, so I don't know how that is.
To race in the streets of Sao Paulo really sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm really looking forward to Brazil, Cape Town, Hyderabad in India.
It's hard to pick up one, but I guess Cape Town is maybe the one I'm the most looking forward to. I've never been to South Africa.
Looking forward to go, for example, to India or South Africa. I've never been there.
Cape Town, I think that's going to be cool. I've never been to India. I think India is going to be an awesome place to get to know.
India, obviously, for Mahindra is a huge race, so I'm really looking forward to going to Hyderabad.